Hello and welcome to this edition of Ritter's Rant. Today's rant's going to be on the word inconceivable. This is a word that I've grown to love because it plays a essential role in one of my favorite movies, The Princess Bride. It's a term used by a Sicilian character named Vizzini, played by Wallace Shawn. And throughout the scenes that he's in, he's always confronted with his various plots falling apart. And it's inconceivable, he would say, that something could happen, and then it happens. So it turns out that rather than just being conceivable, many of the things that he talked about were inevitable, such as his own death, which comes in a battle of the wits with the dread pirate Roberts. Inconceivable. But it's not just the word, but that leads me to the movie itself. Inconceivable. There's a character in this movie, Inigo Montoya. You might be familiar with the character. He's one of my favorite characters of all time, played by Mandy Patinkin. He's a Spaniard. He's in the revenge business because years ago, a six-fingered man killed his father, and he spends his life hunting down. He's dedicated his life hunting down this six-fingered man so that he could say the following words. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. And there comes a time in the movie where he confronts the six-fingered man and he kills him. And then near the end of the movie, though, he's confronted with what he has done. I have been in the revenge business for so long, he says, that I don't know what to do with the rest of my life. Now, why is this important? Because Mandy Patinkin brought up this very scene in an interview he recently did with the New York Times, where he was talking not about the Princess Bride, but he was talking about Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, and the policies of the Israelis in Gaza. And more importantly, from the perspective of Mandy Patinkin, what these policies, what these actions are doing to the security of Jews worldwide, not Israelis, not just Israelis, but Jews. He's worried about his own security, the security of his family here in the United States. He's worried about Jews around the world because the actions of Benjamin Netanyahu, the horrific crimes that Benjamin Netanyahu is overseeing in Gaza, is destroying the reputation of the Jews. Now, I love Mandy Patinkin, and I know for a long time that he, as he says he is a supporter of the state of Israel. Now, maybe the Israel he supported, similar to the Israel I once supported, is this fantasy land where he believes that people will behave justly in a difficult situation, that in the end of the day, they will do the right thing. But that's not the Israel that exists today. So right off the bat, I can see the struggle that's taking place with Mr. Patinkin as he says, I support the state of Israel. I care deeply about the state of Israel, and I'm focusing my problems primarily on the person of Benjamin Netanyahu. But Mandy, you know better. You know that if Benjamin Netanyahu disappeared today, he would be replaced by a modern Israeli leader who will have the support of a significant percentage of the Israeli population to carry out the same policies against the Palestinians, the same genocidal behavior that Benjamin Netanyahu is doing. You see, to blame Benjamin Netanyahu, you're simply ignoring the reality that it's not Netanyahu whose presence is incompatible with civilized society. It's the state of Israel. The state of Israel is incompatible. The state of Israel has bought into a Talmudic prescription for resolving problems that's premised on the notion of Amalek, that is to literally carry out genocide against the enemies of the state of Israel. Now, this isn't just some, fanciful spewing of a right-wing radical rabbi in some darkened corner of a synagogue somewhere in the remote suburbs of Israel or around the world. No, this is mainstream Israeli policy as articulated not only by Benjamin Netanyahu, but by his cabinet members, by the chief of staff of the Israeli forces, acted out by the Israeli Defense Force every day in Gaza, in the West Bank, against people they view as subhuman. Inconceivable, one might say. No, Mandy, it's conceivable. The problem isn't Benjamin Netanyahu. The problem is Israel, and the problem is Jews like you who continue to believe that Israel is capable of coexisting as a normal civilized state when it's not. Inconceivable. That's my rant. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time a thought crosses my mind.